Coming to Springfield, we really originally thought that we would build closer to the Dominican sisters, but the Lord had other plans.
Now and then we have projects where the gestational period from the time we meet the owner to the time we start construction, sometimes it's weeks actually, sometimes it's months, sometimes it's years. Sometimes it gets so long I measure it against milestones in the lives of my children.
The time actually went by quite fast. I just felt we were all on a journey, and I don't think we all felt we were there until this last iteration moving on to that site. It was definitely something we all felt at the same time, including the contracting team, who was very close with us. This was very personal for them as well. So it just was so different than anything else we've ever done. Yeah.
We almost stumbled on this property because when we started looking elsewhere, we hardly found property that offered us acreage outside of the buildings that we viewed. And this was just a little ad in one of the daily papers. To our great surprise, on the way to the property, I kept saying, please let us turn back. And then when we got into Greenridge Road, I mean, there were at the time corn and soy on either side. So, my goodness, where are we going? But as soon as we got onto the drive here, the driveway, drove in, automatically it was like, my goodness, this is really like an oasis in a desert. Not just for the water, but just the way in which this piece of, we call it heaven, was here, just in the midst of this cornfield.
There was a group of local businessmen who had formed a committee to come around these nuns and advise them. And that committee met over the course of a long period of time, maybe 2 years, trying to decide how the project should be shaped and what could ultimately be afforded. And the initial thought was that they are so far removed from what they need to fund this project. We just need to implement the most meager project possible to get them on the land. And this group is just like talking and talking and talking, but really not doing anything. And I think this is so cool because in this season in my life, I read a book called Every Good Endeavor, and it's about the intersection of our work and our faith. To me, that's a very important and powerful topic. And I don't know that I ever saw that brought forward more so than with these sisters, because their vocation is to pray, right? That's their job. That's what they believe they're called to do. And so while all these business people are sitting around the table with all our hot air, they're praying. And as we're trying to shape this project, we get these calls from Sister, and they're along the lines of, hey, we got an investment from here, and we got an investment from there, and it wouldn't be an investment; it would be a staggering sum of money. And it wasn't just once; it was again and again and again. And to me, back to that intersection of our vocation, our work. Here it is, their work to pray, and so they're praying that God will provide while all these business people just keep talking, and God keeps providing. And it was just an amazing thing. And so here we are, 4 years later almost. They've raised what they need for construction. And I'm going to say that if we think of the various models we looked at in terms of construction, we looked at a bicycle, we looked at a Yugo, we looked at a Rolls Royce. We're somewhere in the Buick and Cadillac range. They prayed all that into existence.
We are Dominicans, and Dominicans are the order of preachers that Saint Dominic Guzman created. Our role in the church, it's not a visible ministry, but a witness to anyone seeing us as the kingdom to come. Our main apostolate is to pray 7 times a day. We say the choral or sing the choral office on behalf of the church and the world at large. And that would include to our friars who go out to preach, and our sisters, they preach out there with their lives. We preach by giving witness that we are here for the people. Having lived outside of a monastery for the past 6 years, we felt it acutely. In the past, somebody can just say, oh, well, it's just another building. However, the way in which a monastery is built is to facilitate the life of the nuns. Our time away from the monastery gave us pause to see how we identified with the Exodus and those people waiting on the promised land, because there was no way we ever knew that. At first we thought that we would have just gotten benefactors to support us, and the dream was within a year after coming we would have this monastery. And when the reality set in, we realized, oh my goodness, this doesn't look as though how are we moving forward? We had to rely on the First Testament a lot, seeing that these people just waiting and asking God, really, and he says, okay, I will send you quail today, and I would say, hit the rock and you'll get the water. We just went like day by day, wondering and how, and we knew that the Lord just started putting the right people in our path and to make this dream of a physical building come to fruition. I'm doing a good job, huh?
Yeah, great job.
It's heavy.
Huh?
See if we can push this back.
Right there? Right there. Okay, that's good.
Put that on.
There were a few iterations of the project until we got it. We found the sweet spot both on budget, their needs, size, location, and that spanned 7 years almost, which was fine. I think we were being guided through this whole thing very gently, and I feel very good about where we ended up. It feels right.